Hello and welcome to Audio Talk. This is a podcast for ex-listener lovers and creators. My name is Jinx Audios and this is episode 1. This is mainly just to get to know me. Hopefully I can get some other audio creators or some people in my cast to come on this podcast. So, I've been doing some research about questions that voice actors get asked. So I've copied them down in my Google documents and I'm gonna read them out. Question 1. How do you decide which roles or character types to portray? I either have watched shows or films with these character types, or I just know them in real life. I don't know any vampires in real life because a lot of my things, they are fantasy. Some of it is slightly based off of D&D. For example, Lady Serenity is actually based off of a siren character I wanted to play during one of my D&D sessions. What's your process for developing emotional or romantic tension in your audios? Music. And I mean that. I make my own music instead of getting copyrighted ones. Well, copyright-free ones. Because I've been musically orientated for a while. I love music. To motivate myself, I listen to all types of music. I've especially been getting into Black Bear and Cat's Eye. And a little bit of Paris Paloma, but especially Miko, aka Miguel Veloso, who played Telemachus in Epic the Musical. Next. Do you ever base your characters on real people or experiences? Yes. Lewis is actually slightly based off my dad. He's not bald. But Lewis has to hear his name, either Dad or Lewis, so many times. And I've actually based that off of my dad. From last year on a holiday, we saw a guy who had a car replica of the Back to the Future car. That's my dad's favourite movie series. And he was like, oh, let's go take a photo in it. And when me and him were taking a photo of it, because he was inside with my younger brother and my younger sister, it was my turn to get a photo with him in it. And he had to hear my mum say his name 5 times and me tapping him so many times to just get his attention for the photo. How do you keep your stories fresh and engaging over time? I don't know. I feel like eventually I will know. But yeah. Do you prefer making comfort audios, angst, spicy, or something else? Why? I prefer to make either ex-listeners or stories where the listener, just audio cinema. The listener's not a character, it's like a podcast, like an audiobook basically. But there's characters being played, there's no stage directions. I was listening to Twisted Love on Spotify when I had it, and as I was listening to it I was like, I just want to hear people playing it out, but then I just had the person doing the same voices and the whole inner monologues. I feel like I would do spicy when I move out. For the record, I live with my parents. Don't have enough money to move out. Can't move out. Heck, I've not even gone to prom yet. Okay? I feel like making spicy would, right now, would slightly make me feel uncomfortable, especially because I live with teenagers. My younger sister is across, her room's across the hall from mine. And my younger brother, his room is downstairs. And they do not know the meaning of privacy. If I have my door closed, they just kick it open. They have kicked it open and broken it so many times. Have you ever scrapped an audio halfway through? Why? Yes, the prototype of Detective Angeline. Let me find the Google document for that. I remember writing it. And found... No, that's the fucking wrong one. Found it. And originally, there was like gonna be so many things. Angeline would just hate her dad for no reason, blaming her dad for why her mum left. Austin was gonna be a servant to Serafina and Caleb. Angeline would get mistaken for a guy so many times because originally her design was gonna be like CL from Black Butler, and Glitch was just gonna be an app. Like, an atom that could come to light. Oh my god, my throat. Hold on, I need a drink. I just dropped my... Oh my god. My voice was really weird. I've been at school all day. But Glitch was going to be a app that would come to life on Angeline's phone. Who originally was going to be a lesbian, but then I was like, there's not enough omnisexual representation. Okay, next. What's the hardest emotion to portray in audio-only content? I don't... I feel like it would be crying or laughter, because I feel like my laugh sometimes sounds forced. Either my laugh just sounds really fake for some reason, or I'm just wheezing, or I'm doing a silent laugh. I said that I sounded like I tried to say I sounded like a car starting up, but I accidentally said I sounded like a horse on drugs. For the record, I was very tired, and I had just been blinded by my phone's flashlight on Snapchat. The reason why I feel like my laugh is fake, though, I had a dream that I was sitting in the living room with my dad, and we were watching this show that he really likes called Only Fools and Horses. For the record, I said Only Fools and Horses, but my accent sounds very fucking off. And as we were laughing, he turns to me in my dream and he goes, "Your laugh's fucking fake." Why did I do... My dad's Irish. I don't know why I did that accent, but I feel like it... But that's how he was in the dream, which was really funny. But then I was like, what? But also crying. My crying sometimes comes out in gasps. The thing is, I can cry on command. Not a lot. On command, half and half. But if I want to cry, I can. But I feel like if I do cry and I have to go downstairs to do something, my parents are going to be like, "Why have you been crying?" How do you deal with pacing in your storytelling without visuals? So, Cats and Celia was kind of fast-paced, and I want it to be like a little bit longer, which is why the episodes are going to be longer. Because literally me and Connie, we just wanted to do something quick, something easy, something simple, just to introduce two characters that would appear in a later series. Same with Detective Angeline, that episode 1's going to be very fast-paced, but as the episodes go on, they're going to be either shorter or longer. Episode 4 might be the longest with time and cast. Because there's so many characters I've hopped in there and I was like, this should be enough, right? Do you use a script, improvise, or a mix of both? Mix of both. I've done improv before. Juna was improvised. What does he post? give me a second. I need to pause the goddamn recording. What did Escape post? You know what's good? I'll watch it later. Because I'm staying up until, like, 11:30. But, like, so Juno was improvised. Cass and Celia, the script was improvised. It was, like, made on the spot. And we had to, like, every time we made a line, we would record in different ways and get feedback on each other. And so was my characters in a room with me. Where I just had characters that I voiced talking. And I think, yeah, the work in progress for Detective Angeline was improvised, I think. I don't remember because it was a year ago. Next. What mic settings or effects do you use to create intimacy or closeness? I don't think I want to answer that. I don't think I have one. How do you manage background noises or recording in a home environment? I make sure my dogs have been let out, do their business, let them in, make sure they have food, make sure no cats that I know that are going to be noisy and not be sleeping. So, if I have Theo in my room, I know he's going to be sleeping in my bed while I'm recording. Whereas, if it's Riv or if it's Smudge will be all over me. Like, if I drum my fingers on my lap, he'll take that as an invite to sit on my lap. He's very clingy. I love Smudge so much. But Riv, I have to keep a close eye on him. Why? Because he pisses everywhere. That's one of my nicknames for him, Piss Boy. Because he pisses up my walls, and then I have to clean everything around it to make sure the smell is not there, to make sure that there is no piss. Also, make sure my siblings aren't in. Or they aren't around. My little sister, she's at her friend's house. My mum is downstairs watching My Killer, My Lover. Or My Lover, My Killer. And my younger brother's, I think, playing Minecraft and SMP with his friend. But I made a deal with my parents. If my room is kept tidy for about a month, I get a lock on my door. So hopefully that'll help. So I make sure, like I said, I make sure all the pets are either quiet, like they've had treats, they're asleep. It's fine. My siblings are out, fine. If I have nothing else planned, that's fine. What is the most challenging part of post-production for you? Give me a second. Trying to think. Kind of, I'm gonna have to go with liking stuff, because I think I'm gonna get the DMs up, because I think a little while ago I messaged Escaped talking about like how I changed a little bit of his line. Because I kept listening to it over and over again. And every time I listened to it, I was like, yeah, this is great. But then it went over to, okay, this is okay. And then I was like, why did I write this? Did I write it wrong? Because even, like, my maths teacher, for some reason, told me this. In maths, we weren't even talking about emails. He just said, when you're writing an email, why the fuck do my voice sound like it clears? When you're writing an email and you think like you're just writing everything that comes to mind, you're not, because then there will be spelling mistakes. And I was like, shit, I did that. But then also trying to unwind and like editing all that, because like once I finish recording lines, I then have to edit them. I do multiple takes, and if I don't like them, I'll delete them. Because then, if I think it's fine, I will be spending the rest of the day stressing about, is this good? Is this bad? And I won't be able to relax properly. Do you voice multiple characters in a single audio? How do you manage that? Yes, I have. Like I said, in the work in progress for Detective Angeline, I voiced both the characters, but I used a voice changer on Angeline's mum, who I have changed a bit as well. And then for my characters in a room with me, I voiced them all. Angeline, Cass, me, Clover, Amalia or Amelia, I don't remember, Jinx as well. No, not Jinx, Juna. I voiced them all. It is hard for me to juggle, because then I have to think, okay, how does this character sound? Like, how does Clover sound? And Clover, she's got an Irish accent, so I put on my accent. One of the ways how I do that is I say, fuck off, you C word. Can't say it on YouTube, but I say that. Or I just think about the one scene where Claire comes out to Erin, and she's like, well, I'm sorry, Claire, but I'm not into you, not like that. And she's like, I'm not into you like that, look at this stare. I don't know why the fuck I went to a Glossop accent. And then I had to like re-listen how the characters sound. Like Cass, she's kind of my accent, well, a bit of my South London accent, goes a bit down. For Angeline, it's a little bit this pitch because I'm closer to her age. So, but I also make it seem a bit quieter. Like I said, for Clover, Irish accent. Juna, slightly me. I feel like she gives off a little bit Harley Quinn. I kind of based her off of that. But I wanted to make her kind of nothing you would expect. Like white and pink. You would never expect she beheads people. Trying to think. Captain... I can't remember her name. Amelia... I think it's Amelia. I don't remember. I need to re-listen to that. She has an American accent, so I try to mimic Connie because she's American. I do have a cousin in America. He's Irish. He's engaged to an American girl, so they're getting married next year. And I just make sure the captain, I'm just going to call her the captain, her voice is a little deeper and also American. And I really hope, and then sometimes I just have to pray and hope I don't go into a Texas accent. Do you use binaural / 3D audio? And what is your setup? If so, no, I don't. But my setup is basically a shitty Lenovo laptop, my phone or iPad with the script, a Kokonai's mic, but that will change, not the mic, the laptop, because the Lenovo is fucking slow. Okay, I know people are like, oh, well, you just gotta stick with what you have. I've had that for 3 fucking years. 3 fucking years. A year that I've been making audios with it. But it is so fucking slow. I can't download anything on it most of the time. So I'm lucky I could even download Audacity on it. And my dad even pointed out he needed to use my laptop for work. And then he was like, your laptop's shit. And I was like, Dad, you and Mum bought me, my brother and my sister, the same laptop. They're all shit. They're all slow. You know, I was like, you're lucky that you're getting a MacBook for your birthday. And I'm like, excuse me? So he spoiled the surprise. Thanks, Dad. But yeah, I'm getting a MacBook, so that might help improve the audio. Hopefully. Have you ever lost an entire project due to tech issues? I have lost designs for characters. Amelia Lyons, her original design was lost on my iPad, so I've had to remake it so many times. I've also lost Seraphina's one, but this was this was after I took the photos for editing them onto the backdrops. So I'm lucky for that. I was not lucky for Amelia. Next. Are there any themes or genres you won't cover? Spicy for now. Like, I don't mind reading it. Like, if I'm reading the books like Twisted Love, the Twisted series by Anna Huang, really recommend it. But doing spicy right now? No. I don't think I'd ever do it. I think I would feel too embarrassed, too uncomfortable. Because not only would my siblings possibly hear it on my, through the door, because our rooms are not soundproof. I'm pretty sure you could hear, mumble, someone talking downstairs. That's my mum on the phone to, I think, my uncle or my dad. And I mean, my dad's either calling her or my uncle has called her. But, themes? Not sure yet. But I think that'll change over time. How do you ensure your content is respectful and inclusive? I add in a lot of representation. And I make sure not to bring up shitty things. For example, I have added a lot of inclusivity. I've made a ton of my characters different nationalities. Seraphina and Caleb, they're British Americans. Their mum was British, their dad is American. Therefore British American. Glitch's family is American Filipino. Angeline, Scottish, English, and American. Lewis, Scottish American. And there are so many more characters, but I also make sure to include different sexualities, because a lot of the sexualities you have are lesbians, bisexuals, pansexuals, gay, and I have nothing against that. But there isn't some sexualities that are explored, like asexuality. Juna is an asexual jester. Okay? She can date, she just doesn't want that relationship. If YouTube takes me down, I swear to God. But I also want to add in omnisexual. My best friend is omnisexual. Omnisexual is similar to pansexual, but instead of not having a preference, they have a preference to one gender. Like, it could be men, female, non-binary. And they can have a preference towards one. Glitch, her preference is women. Because her voice actor's a lesbian. What's your approach to NSFW/spicy contents if you make it? I don't know. When I make it, I will come back for this. Have you ever... Okay, the other one does not... Do you ever revisit audios and cringe or feel proud? Both. Cass and Celia was so rushed. And so was Detective McCoy, the fucking work in progress. I hate it. When I was listening to it, I was like, I'm going to jump out a window now. I hated it so much. What platform? Oh my god, my throat again. My god. Oh. Okay. I'm back. I'm fine. What platforms do you think are the best for sharing ex-listener content today? Twitter, I refuse to call it X. Blue Sky, Tumblr, and probably TikTok. Because TikTok, its algorithm is to get you to keep scrolling. It is an endless scroll. But some people stay till the end of stuff, even though it's so painfully stupid. Like, people would stay till the end of the bloody part 2 episode, like, stories, and then there's no part 2. And then they would go to the comments just to find the part 2. So people would watch anything. How's being a creator changed your view of storytelling or performance? It's widened it. It's widened my love for it. I've loved acting since a young age. Heck, before I became a voice actor, I became a GCSE actor. So, for my GCSEs this year, I had to do a performance. And on Monday, I have to do a performance review, and my performance was about fucking Madeleine McCann with disappearance. Don't ask why. But, it's widened it. I've loved being an actor, and I've loved tons of stuff that involve acting, like musicals, plays, TV series. That's inspired me. And the people who I'm working with have also inspired me. Do you have any advice for new voice actors in the roleplay niche? Do not be afraid to email your favourite voice actors. You may or may not get a response. If you get a response, my audio cut out as soon as I fucking finished. Didn't say my sentence because I looked over and the battery was low. So I had to fucking pause the recording. But I was saying, don't be afraid to email your favourite voice actors or those who are inspiring you. You may or may not get a response. If you do get a response, congratulations. That's very good for you. And they are, like, no matter how big they may be, they are going to be the sweetest people. If you don't get a response, that's fine. You can move on and ask other people. Some of them may or may not take on the voice acting role for money or not for money. What are your long-term goals with your channel or content? My long-term goal is to be as big as those who I'm working with. They are all so amazing. They're all so nice. And I want to have a fan base like them. Everyone in the different fan bases, like the Escaped Audios fan base, they are all so kind. I remember when I posted I think it was my Grace Fire Life character. Yeah. After like a year of designing her, I redrew her and I made her look a bit prettier. And someone, I think it's called FX Talasaur. I'm very sorry if I butchered that, but I am going to take a screenshot. Had reblogged it and said, she's so cute. And I was really happy because I had not gotten many compliments on character creating before. Here's the, oh my god, my throat again. Here's the image. And I might make a drawing of what's in her bag half the time. Because I feel like she carries around like a big tote bag similar to mine. But, yeah. Thank you so much for listening to episode 1 of Audio Talk. Hopefully in episode 2 I can either get Carney, Ivy, Frank, aka Francisco, Gabriel, Fonzie, or anyone else who I'm working with to be a part of this series. But, my darlings, please stay safe wherever you are. Take good care of yourself. And best of wishes. Bye!